Let me share my screen again. So hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today for yet another workshop organized by School of the Future International Academy, Sofia. I am Natasha Nika. I'm project manager at Sofia, and I'm very happy to welcome you today on behalf of the organization. Before we start, I would like to inform you that this workshop is recorded. So if you do not agree on your face being seen on the video, you can turn your cameras off. And we will share this video after the finish of the workshop with other members of the global educational community on our social media, newsletters, and it will remain there on our YouTube channel for everyone to see. These are free, open workshops for everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Ovi Barceló, our speaker and trainer for the day, for agreeing to participate in this workshop and provide us with his very valuable knowledge on the topic. Today, we're speaking about AI and how it can help people and school leaders and teachers increase the well-being in their school environments. For Sofia, 2024 is dedicated to well-being. So we organize a number of events, a number of initiatives to promote the importance of enhancing well-being in school environments. You all know, you have all seen the research that shows that mental health both in teachers and students decreases, and we consider ourselves responsible for spreading the word that something needs to be done about it, and that something indeed is there are solutions out there, there are tools out there. Before we start, Ovi, I will take just 1 minute to speak about the organization for the people who have never seen us before and have never participated in one of our initiatives before. So we are School of the Future International Academy, in short, Sofia. We are a non-profit, non-governmental organization based in London, but we operate globally. We work with schools all over the world. Our vision is to help education through its continuous involvement, cater for the needs of all individuals, of all students, cater for their needs in order for them to achieve their long-term goals and dreams. In order to do so, we are on a mission to organize a variety of capacity building initiatives for school leaders and teachers. We focus a little bit more on school leaders because these are the ones who can make decisions in their educational environments, aiming to increase, as I said, their capacity and enable them make valuable changes in their organizations. One of these initiatives is our Mentoring for School Leaders program. There are slots available, and this is why I'm mentioning it. This is a mentoring program in which you as a school leaders, you can participate for free. It is for school principals, members of the school leadership team, department heads, aspiring school leaders. So even if you're a teacher, you don't hold a leadership team at the moment, but you aspire to hold a leadership position in your organization soon, please contact us to participate. Educators who are passionate about leadership and just want to know what a leader, an effective leader, looks like, this program is for you. We are organizing mentoring sessions, 3 in total, 3 2-hour sessions in which you get personalized help and support and training from educational specialists and experts on what to do in these areas that you see in that box right bottom corner of the poster, in order to make improvements in these areas and changes in your educational environments. So you set the priorities, you set your priorities, what you want training upon. Is it curriculum? Is it leadership and values? Is it human resources management or your risk management? and we connect you with the right mentors to give you help on that particular category. So don't hesitate to complete the form. I will leave the form in the chat in a minute in order to participate in this next round of the program. So I don't want to take any more time from Ovi. Ovi, welcome to today's workshop.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you very much. Thank you for
We're
having
looking
me.
for words. So the floor is yours. I'll leave it up. I'll leave it to you.
Of course. So let me start presenting my screen, and you can tell me whenever you can see it.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So thank you again. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Ovi Barceló. I am the solution specialist for Western Europe education. And so taking care of usage and helping our schools, universities, and partners from Europe to implement Microsoft solutions in education. I have a background as a teacher, so I've been around 14 years as primary teacher before joining Microsoft. And now I'm super happy to share all I have, what I've learned with who is interested. I'm gonna leave my LinkedIn account in the chat. So if you want us to connect there after the meeting, and obviously please feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'll keep an eye on the chat, and yeah, let's get started. We're gonna be together for the next 40 minutes approximately, and again, happy to answer any questions whenever you have one. So the goal of today is talking about how AI could help education. We are in a pretty interesting times in terms of artificial intelligence. So my idea today is, start talking a little bit about what is happening and trying to understand why this is happening, and then presenting our solution as Microsoft, but very focused on education. All the examples, all of the personas you're going to see during the presentation are created with education field in mind. Okay, so I will try to always speak about education and avoid any commercial approach on this presentation. So without further ado, me as a teacher, and I've seen in our schools and universities, well, we educators, we have a pretty busy agenda during the day. No matter if you're a teacher or you're a principal, you're starting your day with check-in. If something happened during the night when people was doing homework maybe, or studying at home, preparing the classes, evaluating, meeting with colleagues, and again, preparing the schedule for next days and activities. And we have both principal or teachers, again, pretty busy and agenda and a lot of multitasking, let's put it this way. What we call the teacher 2.0, because it's time, and we spend time in the classroom, but we have a lot of things around it. Our idea today is taking this typical day in the life of a teacher, of a principal, how can we enhance our well-being? How can we make the technology our ally during these busy days? And as I said at the beginning, what I wanted to start with is with what probably have changed the world as we knew it, nor more than 6 months ago, which is not only the artificial intelligence, but the generative AI. And that is what is really changing the game here. And it's clear, and we can see in numbers how this really impacted the world. This graphic is pretty self-explanatory. How long take technologies like the mobile phones, internet, or even Facebook to reach 100 million users? And it's incredible the difference between Facebook, for example, or ChatGPT, which was the first chat that was sent for consumption. Only 3 months took ChatGPT to reach 100 million people, which is amazing. But we need to make sure that we are knowledgeable of what is ChatGPT, or why is that so transformative? Because AI, artificial intelligence, has been here since a long time ago. In the 50s, we started with the first artificial intelligence, and if you remember, it was called Deep Blue. Deep Blue was that machine that played chess. Remember that we all have heard stories about that. At the beginning, it was very it never could beat a person, but the machine ended up being the best chess player at the moment. So that was back in the 50s. And we have been improving, we as humans have been improving artificial intelligence, and we start doing machine learning in the 60s, when we were able to provide existing data and a lot of data to that artificial intelligence, and the artificial intelligence was learning from that data to create predictions or make decisions based on the data we provided. And more recently, we also created the concept of deep learning, where the data was not only put in silos, but that artificial intelligence was able to connect the dots and make neuronal connections between different sets of data. So why ChatGPT is such a breakthrough? What is the new thing? The new thing is generative AI. And generative AI is that artificial intelligence that, of course, based on data, is important, that is always a source of data, creates brand new content that never existed before. And that is what is really changing the situation here. In content in the form of a text, or in form of images, code, or even music, or even video, that before the second before we click the button never existed, and is based on a lot of data and connections between that data. That is the big difference. And in the classroom also made an inflection point. And we have been unfortunately in a pandemic that changed also the way we teach and the way we learn. But now with artificial intelligence, with generative AI, is even more has changed even more. So we learned that the teaching and learning came from being standardized to really the need to be personalized. That the emotional well-being, the well-being, needs to be treated daily instead of occasionally. That all the data and insights that before were treated in silos now make more sense, and there is a need to aggregate and integrate all the data to get better results for our students. That accessibility, inclusion, needs to be designed together with the technology. It's not an add-on that it used to be. And all of that needs to be done with less effort, which is even more challenging. But it's the last line where I want to stop a little bit and explain how the technology also has changed, not only the methodology, and has changed from a deterministic technology to a probabilistic technology. And what is that? Okay, so before generative AI, technology was deterministic, meaning that I could predict what will happen whenever I got frozen, but I'm still here. Can you hear? Okay, got it. Okay, so I could predict what will happen whenever I click a button. So if I don't know, if I click here, it prints, or if I click here, it saves, or if I do this code, this will happen. And that is a deterministic approach of the technology. What happened to after generative AI is that technology now is probabilistic. You never know what is going to happen after you click the button. Whenever you write a prompt in Copilot and you tell, make me an image or write a poem or make a create a lesson plan, you don't know what's going to come at the other side. It's a matter of probability that that outcome will fit to your needs. And that depends on many things. The language model, how the model is trained, what is the database, what is the persona that this model is having at that very moment. And every time I click, there's a new outcome. And among all these outcomes, it's a matter of probability that it fits to my needs or not. If you have ever tried Copilot to create images, for example, with DALL-E 3, which is the latest model for image creation, sometimes it doesn't fit to your needs because it's not like, okay, if I print this image, well, it comes out. Well, no, because every time a new outcome is provided. So with that is how we need to evaluate our use in the classroom of the generative artificial intelligence. Because and here's a very nice way to explain what is artificial intelligence. I uploaded an image, or generative AI, sorry, with a man with a balloon, and I said, what will happen if I cut the ropes? In the past, I will need to explain to the artificial intelligence what is a balloon, that the balloon goes up, that the man goes down, that this is a sky, that this is a rope. And after identifying all the objects and situations, the artificial intelligence will predict. But now, just out of the blue with generative AI, when pasting this image, it understands and create predictions without training. The person falling, the balloon releases, it's a safety concerns. So imagine how powerful is that situation, that you don't need to train the artificial intelligence, the connections are there, and the artificial intelligence, based on something you provided, creates a new content without even the need of training. And that is what really changes the paradigm here. This example is me recording a thing. So it's just an image. I didn't tell that there's gravity, or I didn't tell that the balloons are full of helium and then goes up. It understands for context. And that is the breakthrough that we're facing here. And the opportunities we have are countless. Since personalized learning to equip students with more skills, unlock your productivity, we will get very deep on that, or engage learners with the newest technology, analyze the data efficiently. So for example, in this example that I gave you of the balloons is a very simple example of how to analyze data effectively. Because without any effort, I put there, and then the data of that image got analyzed in a matter of seconds. So imagine if I provide the AI to all the grades of my students and say, calculate the trends without even the need of training the model. That is the power of generative AI. And Microsoft has an approach for that. Starting with we implement in our learning accelerators in Teams, that if you have never tried, it is available for everyone, free of charge in all the Teams for Education. You can use our learning accelerators. To Copilot that you can use with your with your Hotmail account. But we put extra security on top of that with the Microsoft for Education account. I will go there. It's called Copilot. Well, we used to call Big Chat Enterprise. The next evolution that I will cover today as well is Copilot for Microsoft 365. I will tell you about it. And the very end is we offer you services with the best language models in the market to create your own copilots. And that is something we're not covering today. We needed to, in the amount of time we have to, needed to trim down and frame our exposition today. But maybe we can talk further about it. Today we're going to focus on 2 of these 4 solutions. Learning accelerators is something that everybody knows. If you don't know, I will try to send you a link that you start learning. But we're going to focus on Copilot and Copilot for M365 today. So let me take 1 second here and send you the link for learning accelerators so you can start exploring about it. Here we go. Okay, but for today, don't go there. Don't miss this webinar. We're going to cover how to use Copilot and how to use Copilot for M365 and what are they essentially. So without further ado, Copilot. And we need to make sure that we understand the naming we are putting on top of that. When you hear about Copilot without any last name, we're talking about the Copilot you can find in the internet, like the chat we used to call Bing Chat, right? This is Copilot, and this is your AI assistant. It's a conversational bot where you can put a lot of input and you will get different kind of output with artificial intelligence. Okay, but why that is different from ChatGPT or any other chats or even Copilot for consumer? Well, Copilot for education is available today for all the education teachers that are using Microsoft 365 for free, no extra charge, and also available for all the higher education students. And there you will have all the explanation, Copilot expansion, Edu. It's available today for everyone. And it's really what it is this, it is a service that you can access in different ways that uses the most powerful AI models in the market, Copilot GPT-4 Turbo and DALL-E 3 for images. That is meant for productivity, meaning that every time you ask a question or you interact with Copilot, Copilot cites the data sources behind its answer. Why is that? Because Copilot is connected to the internet. So again, one of the things is that there is no knowledge cutoff. Copilot provides up-to-date answers because it really connected to all the data source that Bing has in the internet. But the most important thing, and this is why we put it in education in all our licensing, even the free one, is that Copilot doesn't save the prompts, doesn't save the answers, no use your prompts or the answers to train the model. Microsoft has no eyes on that. So whenever you finish a conversation, the conversation is gone forever. So when you're using Copilot to create a lesson plan for my students, or this is my student that has problems with dyslexia, can you adapt something for him or for her? That information is protected and only for you. Copilot, don't share, don't train the model. That is very important. I will show you how you can check if you have already that. If you have Microsoft 365 for your school, you have it, but you can check it if you didn't know. Where can I access Copilot? All these places. So copilot.microsoft.com. In Edge, in the sidebar, in the little Copilot icon, you can find it there. You can download it to your mobile app. Even Android or iPhone. You can use it in Windows, and this is something we are very excited. And if you're using a Windows right now and you see this button in your keyboard that is like a book, that thing is going to be changed for a Copilot button. And you will find in the new computer you will buy soon, you will find a Copilot button that you can start interacting with Copilot. Okay, and also in bing.com.chat. So everything is the same, is Copilot. So it's It's a bot that you can chat, connect it to the internet, protect it to the max, because all the data is protected, that can help you with a lot of things in your classroom. And without further ado, I will show you. Look, let's see what it is. So before playing the video, here is the most important thing. Protect it. Why is that? Because my colleague, Michelle, in this case, is using Copilot with data protection. Everything that the same Copilot with data protection that you have as a teacher in an education institution using Microsoft technology. So all the data that is doing there is protected. In this case, we're using the web page, copilot.microsoft.com. Let's see. First thing interesting, the conversation style. You see there, more creative, more balanced, more precise. That means that if I need something like super precise, I will change it to super precise and we'll only read for web pages that are trustworthy. Okay. If I want to create images, maybe I can do some creativity there. So in this case, I'm going to use the prompt and saying, explain the similarities and differences between proteins and carbohydrates. Next, put 4 examples of either in a table or of individual nutrition value. So without any other, Copilot starts creating that for you, putting all the links and everything where the information comes from, and also creating tables. Look at this. That table over there can be used straight away in Excel. So you see that Excel button. So the table is completely customizable for you. So you can start changing the things that if you need it, right in Excel when you click that button over there. About students, I see a question in the chat. We will come to students. The regulation in the European Union and almost in everything in the world is recently approved. So we need to make sure, and Microsoft needs to make sure that we comply for every regulation before opening to students. So now is for teachers and students over 18, and sooner we will open to younger students for sure. Of course, Maria. And okay, more things. Imagine I want to create a lesson plan. Create a lesson plan of the Battle of Waterloo, adapted to my 5th grade history lesson, add learning objectives. It's important when you're using prompts in Copilot, tell Copilot, who are you? What are the public of your that you want to interact with, and what are your needs? And imagine a lesson plan in a matter of seconds with links to the source. So obviously, it's something like you need to check if it's accurate to you. Again, it's a matter of probability. Our models are the top language models in the market, but maybe you need to tweak something. So also you can iterate questions, very important. If you want to have another question on top of that, you can say, okay, can you add something or can you change this? If you see here, 1 of 30, you have up to 30 iterations again, the same topic. In this case, we're saying, okay, can you create a rubric to assess that? You don't need to explain the whole thing again because we are having like a conversation. So yes, this is the boom, here you have the rubric. And again, the rubric is, you can export it into Excel in just 1 click and start custom or change it for you. One thing very important, the language. Copilot speaks every language. But let me tell you, if you are speaking a language and you don't find the answers very well, I'm going to give you a trick. Copilot thinks very well in English, but speaks every language. So if you don't find your language like super accurate, ask the question in English and then ask Copilot to translate it to your language. That will work better. Remember, Copilot thinks in English, but it speaks every language. I think in Spanish and I try to speak English. So it's the same. If I don't get the question, you give me in Spanish. Okay, now I get it. Boom, I can give you the answer in English. So here, imagine if I want to create an image. Boom, create an image to for Napoleon in the style of René Magritte. Boom, then you have it. An image that didn't exist second before, and all in the same conversation. Okay, what Copilot can do. I'm going to pause a little bit here. That is amazing. Edge is integrated with Copilot, or Copilot is integrated in Edge. So if you're using Microsoft Edge, you have this button over there. And in that button, you can compose easily whatever you want. You want to write about something. What tone do you want to give? A casual, a professional, enthusiastic? What is the format you want to give? It's a paragraph, it's an email, it's a LinkedIn post. What is the length? Boom, create. And now you have, in this case, an email to the families in your classroom. Obviously, you can copy it, you can customize it, but it's a very good tool to avoid the blank page effect. But also the content that is in Edge can be enhanced or analyzed by Copilot. Imagine that you have a web page. Let me show you right now in the video. This web page about, well, something about protection of the forest. Okay, a long web page. I open Copilot in the site and I ask, hey, Copilot, can you sum up this web page for me in 3 bullets? Well, Copilot read the web page for you and give you the answer based on its knowledge. And always, as you see here, always protected. So nothing that you're interacting with is going to be safe. But even farther, Edge is very good reading PDF files. So if you open a PDF, well, this is another interactions, but let me finish with that. And if you're open a PDF in Edge, even the PDF is in your file, in your drive, you can ask questions. So 72 pages of PISA report results. Hey, can you give me the insights about Spain? The 3 more important insights about Spain. So Copilot reads the PDF for you and give you the insights without you to read the whole content. So you can do it with videos in YouTube. You can do it with PDF, with web pages. You can ask Copilot, can you read this PDF and make an exam of 10 questions for my students in primary? And then you have the first draft of your exam there. So this is all the power of Copilot, and it's integrated with your identity. It is protected, very important. We will talk about protection a little bit later, but it's something that you can start using right away. Here, Copilot for Educators, you have a whole course to learn about Copilot for Educators. I'm going to go next, and now I'm going to put a last name on top of Copilot. So you have heard that we have many Copilots. A way to identify what this specific Copilot is doing is looking at the last name. In this case, Copilot for Enter65 is a Copilot that is integrated in your apps. This Copilot has price. You need to pay on top of your licensing. It's not free. It's not integrated as the other one, but it's something that if you didn't see it, I'm going to give you a video of 2 minutes. Not even. So as you see there, Copilot available today on top of your licenses for all the teachers and again, higher education students, is a Copilot that not only has the brain to create content, but also the hands to do something inside your apps. Because I'm going to use my pointer here. Of course, it's uses the best and the top large language models like DALL-E 3 or in this case, GPT-4 Turbo. Of course, it's reading from the web like Copilot, but also reads from the data in your organization, your emails, your documents, your chats in Teams, and integrates in all the Microsoft apps. So you can tell him for it, can you create a presentation based on my notes for the cycle of water or for the World War II? Boom, and then creates a presentation for you. Because technically, I want to be super quick in that. Technically, what it does is connecting all your data, your emails, your chats, the people you're working with, and make a semantic index. I don't want to spend so much time, but it is a connection. The best way to see it, I don't want to show you the video because it's long. The best way to see it is here. When you're using a search with a typical search on here, on your left, it matches the words you're using, right? But when you're using a semantic index for Copilot, it gets not only the text, but also the context. Meaning that if I search for something, it understands I am working with this person. This is the last mail I sent to the person, so I need to tweak it a little bit. Or this is the interaction we're having in my classroom, so I mean this. So it gets all the context of your data. And because here, the thing is, the best or the most, or the thing we are hearing the most is how secure is that. So we're going to start on the security foundation of that. That is very important. Then we're going to see how it works in your environment and how that changes the way we work. So we're going to start with the responsible AI. This is something that Microsoft takes very, very seriously. So Copilot, or these are the things that we're hearing the most about Copilot. Well, it's going to make my students lazy, or how can I protect the students' privacy, or how do I don't know, where's the data processed? So we want to definitely be clear on security first before going anywhere else. So Copilot for Microsoft 365 reads from your security and doesn't change anything that you have protected. So if you don't have access to that document, Copilot will never get into that document. Or if you don't have access to this site or this conversation, Copilot will never, never get there. So it respects all the compliance, the security, and the privacy you already have in your environment, and does it responsibly. I don't want to spend so much time there, but at the end of the day, I'm using the Microsoft 365 apps to say, hey, Copilot, can you create a document for me? Copilot gets all your data and goes, before going back, goes to our language model and our responsible AI model. And if it's something that is not correct, if it's something that is not accessible, it blocks the communication. But if everything is correct, is compliant, is responsible, goes back to the apps and do the work for you. So remember, you always have control of your data. Microsoft doesn't have any control of your data. You know where the data is located. If the data is in Europe, your data will be there. We secure the communication at rest in your organization and also in transit when you communicate with somebody else. And we help you defend your data. That is very, very important. But also something very important is that you understand that Microsoft, in a model like Copilot, really takes care of all this, that the model is secure, that the model is compliant, that the model is responsible, that your data is protected, that we don't have eyes on that. That is completely, but it's not only our responsibility. You have a part of responsibility, meaning what data do you put there? What data do you expose to Copilot? This is something super important. So that is why we said at the beginning that if you're going to use a chatbot like Copilot or ChatGPT and you want to talk about your students, use the ones that protect your data. It's your responsibility. What data are you putting there? What documents you're uploading, right? But you need a model that really helps you to protect that data. This is why we are so proud of our solution. And let's see how it works. Okay, our principles of responsibility are there. Microsoft is the top on security. You need a model that really helps you to protect that data. This is why we are so proud of our solution. And let's see how it works. Okay, our principles of responsibility are there. Microsoft is the top on security. Is always at the top of the quadrants in terms of security and compliance. And of course, we respect all the AI principles, accountability, transparency, and everything. But we're going to move further because of conscious of time. So how it works? Let's see how it works. We're gonna focus on 3 pillars: creativity, productivity, and skills. Creativity, for example, hey Copilot, can you write a 45 minutes lesson plan on Hamlet? And then automatically, without any other interaction from me, inside Word, I write the prompt, can you create a lesson plan for me? Boom, I generate it. I can make the paragraph longer. I can make the paragraph shorter. I can summarize my text. I can change the tone, everything just with Copilot, as you can see there. Or other examples. So Copilot, can you create a presentation based on my Hamlet document? Now I create a document and now I want to make a presentation for my students. Can you do it? I select the document and I say, Copilot, please do it for me. And this is me recording. As you see here, probably you don't see in the top, this is my picture. And you will see how easy it is to create a presentation using Copilot. And then you, of course, you need to put, but it creates speaker notes. It creates images. It creates everything for you. And obviously you need to put your effort on top. So let's see how it creates. It's real time. So sometimes it takes, depending on how long is the document. But let's see. Okay, now the says the document is protected, and here we go. This is about Galileo Galilei. I have a whole presentation based on my own notes in my own data that I created for my students. And also in Excel, I have all my grades for my students. Can you analyze what is the top skills for this student, or what are the things that this student needs to improve? Takes the Excel data and analyze it. And not also creativity, but also productivity. Things like, and this is something I use a lot, like, can you summarize this mail for me? Imagine a mail that's 20 pages long. Can you summarize and take the actions I need to take from there? Or even, can you change the tone of my email? I'm writing an email and say, okay, Copilot, can you analyze my email and say if the tone is correct? And then say, well, probably you need to say here things differently. This is too aggressive. Or can you tell me what is the sentiment of these parents communicating to me? And Copilot helps you there. Same with meetings. Imagine that you're doing a class. And after the class, you say, hey, Copilot, can you summarize the class in 5 bullets and tell my students what are the next steps I asked them to do? And Copilot create a summary, understands what you're saying, understands who is talking, understands who is saying what, and give you the information that you require from there. But also to help your skills. What if I use Copilot to say, hey, Copilot, please summarize my mails and give me a good approach for these parents that are communicating with me about his or her son or daughter. Or if somebody in my university working in this topic, can you find documents for me and we can create a team together? So you ask Copilot to be your assistant, as you see, as we said at the beginning. But obviously, everything requires a change in the management, meaning that it's a cultural shift. This AI, generative AI, that is so transformative, is a new way of working. It's a new way of interacting, but it's not only the new way of working when talking about technology, but also talking about the culture. There's certain things that we don't need to do anymore because of the Gen AI, and we need to focus on other things that are needed and exclusive for humans. This is the question we are getting. Who do I start giving the Copilot licenses? How can I get my teachers up and running? What are the, how can I measure the impact of the changes we're doing? Of course, it's something that is super, super important. So we will provide, we as Microsoft, in our commitment with the responsible AI, we will provide you with guides for readiness, guides for adoption, and tools for measurement. And we created what we call the AI Skills Challenge for educators that you can start doing today. And you can upskill and understand not only how to start, but how to measure the results in your productivity and in your colleagues' productivity. You can start right now. And also, if you don't know how to change or take all this world of generative AI into the classroom, we also create what we call the classroom kit for AI classroom kit. So you can start learning, and maybe let me try to, if I can put you the links here, but it's very easy. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, educator.mess / in this case is AI classroom kit, toolkit, sorry. Oh, sorry, I make a mistake here. Let me try if I can fix it. Toolkit. Okay, I don't know, I cannot make it work. Let's see if I can make it work right now. Okay, here we go. And you're gonna start using it. So at the end of the day, and leaving time for questions, because probably you have some. If you remember at the beginning, I told you how busy is the day on the life of a principal. So now, after understanding what Copilot can do for you, we can also understand that Copilot 7 a.m. can work as your personal assistant. And you can summarize my upcoming appointments for today, formatted in a table, include notes and talking points to help me prepare. So with just one click, it gets to your data, to your agenda, creates all the meetings in a table, summarize talking points, and help you prepare. Or needs to respond to certain mails, you can do it there, or some action items. So as you see there, there's a lot of things that Copilot can do for you, no matter if you're a principal, in this case, or you are a teacher. As again, create a lesson plan for me, or create this presentation based on my documents. My audience are parents, or my audience are students, so different ways. Summarizing and giving you time for questions. Use the AI responsibly, but we are here to help you, to help not only use the AI for the sake of using the AI, but to unleash your creativity, to unlock your productivity, and also to help up-level your skills. So I just wanted to show how and what are we doing for education in the field of AI from Microsoft. And I hope it was interesting and I help you to discover certain things. Start testing, start trying, reach me if you need any questions. And thank you very much for being here with me all this time.
This was amazing. Thank you so much. I wanted to point out that what you said about having a personal assistant using these tools, and given that also all research indicates that the main factor that affects teachers and school leaders' mental health is the excessive workload. I think that all of us now, we can take advantage of these tools, minimize the repetitive actions and the actions and the tasks that take so much time of our work day. All these administrative tasks that as teachers we need to do as part of our roles, and get to spend more time on what we're actually good at, like spending time with our students, expanding and improving our teaching and our lesson plans and our curricula and stuff like that. So I would take what you said and repeat it as well. Guys, go back home today, go back to working today and check these tools, check how these can take over some of this tasks that occupy a lot of our times, and we can do them now faster, easier, in order to protect our well-being. I don't know if there are any questions. Ovi has left a lot of links for extra materials for you. Yes, Vasiliki, you've raised your hand. You can unmute and ask your question. Hi.
Hello, thank you so much for your time. Hello from Athens, from St. Catherine's School. I'm a big supporter of AI in education. I really think it can make a huge difference in teachers' lives. I have one question. How do you think as a school we should approach the transitioning to AI? Like, should it be a bottom-down process? Should we start from teachers? Because that's what I'm trying to push for. I've tried to advocate to teachers, like individually in staff rooms, you know, informally. It doesn't really work. It doesn't make a huge difference, like when it's one person at a time. So do you think we should start from management and go down? Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. Super interesting question. And according to my experience, when I was teacher, and I was a IT coordinator, bottom up, as you said, usually doesn't work. It turns out to be a single effort of these early adopters that we always have in the classroom, that they are super enthusiastic about technology and they want to start using right now. But if we want a cultural shift and a way to change it, we need to do a top-bottom approach where a strategy that is planned and is pursuing certain educational goals, because we are here to educate. So as long as this is used to pursue certain educational goals and is embraced by the whole community, parents, directors, and teachers, that's the only way we can educate our students, like any other topic. And in the case of AI, what I will do is, like, while you're working on the change of management, insist on the education of your teachers. And let me explain that part. All the teachers and all the students are using AI right now without us knowing it, because it is there and there's the social media and everybody's using it. But insist that if your teachers are using AI for the classroom, they need to use AI that guarantees the protection of their students. Don't use it in a consumer world This is something that we need to educate and repeat and repeat every time. If you're using for your life, please do whatever you want. But if you're going to say, hey, in my school, I have a student with dyslexia and I want to do something for him or for her, if we're not protecting your data, we are risking the leakage of that data. So please insist that if you're using for educational purposes, use a platform that is protected. Meanwhile, create a school project, create a curriculum, create learning goals that help you land the AI message and start to be a success. Baby steps, but firm.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anybody else who might have a question for Ovi? Now that we have the luxury to have him with us. Earlier on, Ovi left his LinkedIn page in the chat. So if you scroll up, you will see his LinkedIn page. You can connect with him and ask him questions when you actually get to use the tools. Because I know some of the questions when it comes to technology, they occur when we actually start using things. Great potential for all of us, for all educators, with Copilot and all the other Microsoft tools. I would, because I know them very well, I would highly encourage all of you to go and check the accelerators. They can revolutionize the way you work with specific groups of students, especially those with learning difficulties and maybe physical difficulties as well. They require a little bit of teaching. Like you need to teach your students how to use them, but when you do so, you will see great improvement in their performance. Okay, so if there are not other questions, it was lovely having you here, Ovi. Thank you so much for this amazing presentation. You have opened the appetites of all of us to go and check Copilot and the other tools in greater depth. And I hope I will see you again soon in another one.
It's always a pleasure to working with Sofia and with all of you guys. So thank you very much. And you have my contact and I will try to be responsive if you reach me and I'll be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So on behalf of Sophia and the Sophia team, thank you all for being here today. As we said earlier, this is a recorded session. It will be uploaded on our YouTube channel and social media soon. I will leave again the form for our mentoring program in case you want to participate. Well, I'll see all of you in the next one. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.